Hi, this is Mr. Malay, and this is your video review for your test coming up this Friday in APUS history. Terms you need to know: Friedman, President Johnson, President Hayes, President Grant, black codes, radical, meaning extreme, civil rights, which are the rights that are due to a citizen, the Ku Klux Klan, carpetbagger, scalawag. Other terms you need to know are sharecropping, Morehouse, tenant farmer, Samuel Tilden, the man who ran against President Hayes, Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, which is spelled W.E.B. Du Bois, NAACP, Homer Plessy, Jim Crow, lynching. You need to know what the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments did. You need to know why Johnson sucked at Reconstruction as a president. You know what radical Reconstruction was. You know, where they broke up the South into military zones, and they, kept, basically sent soldiers down to protect black people. You need to know what black codes were and give me examples of them. You know what Jim Crow laws were and give me an example. You know what the KKK or the Ku Klux Klan was and what they did. You need to know why Andrew Johnson was impeached and what does it mean that he was impeached. You need to know what Grant's strengths and weaknesses were as a president. You need to know why Rutherford B. Hayes' presidency ended Reconstruction. You need to know how sharecropping worked and why it was beneficial to both the landowner and to the people working the land. You need to know what a lynching was. It wasn't always a hanging. You need to be able to explain to me the grandfather clause. And then on the other part, you need to be able to tell me the following terms: Bessemer process, wildcatter, promontory point Utah, entrepreneur, tariff, social Darwinism, a trust, union, Knights of Labor, and a strike. I know that a lot of these terms are terms that you don't know yet, and that's because we haven't gone over them yet, but we will today and tomorrow. You also need to know the word xenophobia, which is a fear of foreigners. You know what a blacklist is. You need to know about the Gentleman's Agreement, benevolent societies, Americanization, nativists, imperialism, robber baron, and annex. You also need to know the following people and things and why they're famous: Vanderbilt, John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, capitalism, Ellis Island, Angel Island, Edwin Drake, and a sweatshop. You need to know the difference between horizontal and vertical integration. That is very important. You need to know what it was like living in a Pullman town. It was both good and bad about it. You need to know what was different about the immigrants that came to the United States between 1880 and 1910. The new immigration versus old immigration. That 1880 to 1910, there were 18 million immigrants. In the previous 80 years, there were only 10 million. How were these immigrants different? What things were blamed on them? How were they treated? Things like that. You need to be able to tell me two effects that the Transcontinental Railroad had on the United States. You need to be able to tell me why workers going from east to west had a harder time than why the workers going from west to east had a harder time than workers going from east to west. You need to be able to tell me what a monopoly is. You need to tell me about the Haymarket Square riot, what happened, why it happened, and how were the people there punished, and how was that fair or unfair. You need to be able to tell me about the immigrants, things that were blamed on them at the turn of the century. You need to be able to tell me about the demands of early labor groups. And if you can tell me all of those things, you'll be doing fine for your quiz or test, I suppose, coming up this Friday in APUS history.